What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Shopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. It's good to be back, friends. Back in the home office, nice and comfy here. My car's comfy. It's nice. It's good stuff. But this is fantastic. We also have 16 games in the MLB streets, lots of options, whereas very limited. Ended up on the Houston money line, ended up on the under for Luis Castillo, 6.5 Ks, and then Dallas Garcia's home run, plus 400 for that, just a quarter unit again. Not much of a slate that we had here on Monday with 4 games. Didn't end up firing anything on that Yankee-Arizona game, thank God, but we are heading here to the Leans, Likes, Locks. If it's your first time joining me, well, it's the end of the season. That's pretty wild. But Leans, we're just basically talking about things that I'm thinking about betting, where I'd be leaning. Maybe I want to wait on some lineups to come out because this time of year, that's going to be something that's fruitful. A like, it means that it gets the thumb of approval for at least a half unit, sometimes up to a unit. But then the locks, those are a unit. There are 0 of those on this 16-game slate. And part of that has to do with the seasonality of this. I don't want to give you bad information. I don't know what teams are going to do as far as resting certain pieces. We want to be quick to react. We also want to just tread lightly at certain spots and take value where it shows up. I don't know where it'll show up here yet. That's why you want to check out the premium Discord. You can sign up for that down below, stochastic.com/Lindy, or you can check out BetMGM too. Get yourself some free ammunition here on this Tuesday MLB slate. Bet $10. Get yourself $200 in the form of 4 $50 bets. That's good stuff. Only if you're 21 and over, and if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But hey, friends, good to be back here at home, ready to break down everything that has to do with the 16-gamer. Producer Jacob, let's get to the picks. We got a double header right off the bat here. Dodgers and Rockies, Colorado Rockies. But I have no idea who's going to be pitching here in some of these. I'm assuming Ryan Pepiot pitches one. We have Miller listed as the second one, Bobby Miller. Okay, I always have to double check my Millers because, well, there's one that pitches there for Seattle, and I always have them listed wrong in my sheet. All right, I had it correct this time. All right, we're starting with the first one, though. I'm assuming it's Chase Anderson in one of these 2 games as well, but we have no line, so I'm going to make this quick and easy on us. How are we not leaning Dodgers minus 1.5 here, as long as there's something to play for in some capacity here? Way better lineup. Chase Anderson, nobody really good here for the Rockies that they could throw out here. So at elevation, we definitely know they'll play the platoon game, definitely play the we're trying to win games until Atlanta clinches the 1-seed game. And until that point, friends, we just, twiddle our thumbs. So game 1, leaning Dodgers on the run line. Game 2, leaning Dodgers on the run line here. Again, Miller, we at least know that it's a known quantity. Like, there's at least a known pitcher of the 4 guys that are going to be out here spinning it to a certain extent. The Dodgers are going to play a lot of bullpen scenarios here, but Bobby Miller, he's been awesome. 365 expected slugging, 297 xWOBA, but here at Coors Field, you just kind of never know what you're going to get from guys in their first couple starts. So, great information. Dodgers minus 1.5. No idea if I'm going to be firing it or not. Good opportunity to hit me up on X. Let me know if it's something you're interested in betting. I'll tell you if I'm on it. God, if this were an April or May or June or July or August baseball game, I would have so much interest in backing these pitchers. So much interest in K props, in home run props, in everything. That being said, I have no idea what to expect here in this spot, how long of a leash Hunter Green and Lucas Giolito are going to get. Giolito, obviously, he's by way of the White Sox, by way of the Angels, by way of now Cleveland, which is a wild run out for him this season. And then on the other side, Hunter Green. These are both guys who have crazy good strikeout stuff. Green just throws with straight up gas, 100+ mile per hour stuff. We've backed him in a couple of these, but considering he's the future, I don't think you want him out there pitching a ton. 31.5% K rate. Giolito on the other side, 26% K rate. The difference is Hunter Green, 207 expected batting average, 295 xWOBA compared to Giolito. 236 isn't terrible in terms of expected batting average, but a 322 xWOBA. He's walking a few too many guys, as there's Hunter Green, but Hunter Green doesn't give up like the crazy home run stuff that he used to. I mean, he still gives up home runs, but it used to be absolutely pure insanity. I will say, I'm looking at all the way across here trying to find certain guys here. And Hunter Green, maybe in this spot, can you maybe give up one? Got a couple home run props that are going to be standing out for me here. And it's kind of ironic because this is a third baseman and I have a third baseman coming up later, both on teams that are not in any way, shape, or form going to be competing to win. So very likely that they could just sit them in certain spots. But considering Monday was a day off for both of these squads, I'm assuming we get J-Ram here in the lineup. So anything better than plus 350 is like a gift against Hunter Green, who does give up fly ball contact, does do some of those things, even though he's been better. But a 17.1 degree average launch angle, 43.8% hard hit percentage. He must be atoned, or that's not the right way of saying it. Just bet Jose Ramirez because he's going to hit it very long and far off green. And probably a couple of Reds we'll be looking at here facing Giolito. Washington, Baltimore, wild little spot here for Baltimore. 2.5 games up here now in the AL East. And the injury bug has bit the Tampa Bay Rays in a pretty resounding fashion. You got Brandon Lau. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks now. That's bad. You got Randy Arozarena, who's dinged up. Don't know if he'll be in the lineup here for this one. Lots of ways that this doesn't end up panning out in any way, shape, or form for Tampa Bay to catch Baltimore. And Baltimore, they're going to be rolling out the A team. You know that. And they get to face Josiah Gray, that I bring it up quite often. He's an all-star, but for no other reason than they needed one. I will say it's not even confirmed, and yet books have this listed as Josiah Gray. So just want to throw that out there, that if you're at a book where it has to be the specific pitcher, well, I say that knowing full well that any other pitcher coming in to fill in for Josiah Gray is probably going to be worse. So enjoy that. But Josiah Gray, 36.8% hard hit percentage, 343 xWOBA. One of those is good. One of those is bad. I'll let you guess which. Answer, it's the 343 xWOBA. I'll just answer your questions for you. We don't have time for games here this late in the season here on September 26th in the year of our Lord 2023. But we do have time for the over in some capacity here. 8. I'm leaning that direction. I haven't pulled the trigger yet because I want to see Washington's lineup going up against Kyle Bradish. He's not my favorite, 42.6% hard hit percentage, but he's one of the more reliable guys in terms of strikeouts, 25% K rate. However, you run into a Washington team that just doesn't strike out a lot. Sub 19% against righties. So I want to kind of confirm that Washington's lineup is their normal dudes, even though they're not very good. The Baltimore side is definitely the more intriguing side, but you're not getting any value here. You know what? More than likely going to be leaning on this one, but at least want to throw it out there. Over 8. That's what's looking the best for me right now. Kansas City and Detroit with Zach Greinke on the mound. Sometimes I'm just going to say next because I just don't want to do it. It's Kansas City and Detroit. And without gambling, there is no way in God's green earth that anybody cares about the result of this baseball game. Maybe Zach Greinke's family, because he's coming to a screeching halt in his career. Seems like he's just going to keep pitching forever. Yeah. Detroit money line. Lean. Next. Now, here's one that I really, really like. I almost did that lean/lock thing, but we're going to talk through it here because we don't have any available numbers. But Aaron Nola on the mound up against the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm assuming it's going to be Mitch Keller, comeback Keller. Talked about him multiple times here on this program. 4.25 ERA, 1.26 whip, but this is a Philly team that rolls out a ton of lefty power, specifically Harper, specifically Schwarber, specifically, even the guys like Brandon Marsh going out there and hitting the ball hard. Jake Cave from time to time when he's in the lineup. So it's a difficult spot for me to want to just go out and pick on a dude who's made us some decent coin this season, but we're going to do it. If not for anything other than Aaron Nola. I've had some concerns with him of late, and it's weird because it doesn't seem like he's been pitching on this program lately. Sometimes when you have fifth or sixth days and it just lines up differently, you don't have the same. Like, I'm breaking down a lot of the same pitchers week in, week out because of the way that a team might have a 6-man rotation, or they'll pitch every 7th day or every 5th day, and it just somehow misses my program. And I feel like Aaron Nola is one of those guys, although in the premium Discord, we have actually been betting against Philadelphia and Aaron Nola more than I would like to admit. And then we've been backing him against really, really good teams. Now, this is probably the first time that I'm going to be betting him against a bad team in some capacity. We saw a great result from him against Atlanta. Didn't get the decision, but cashed us a ticket. You get plus money going into Atlanta with Aaron Nola, you take it. And then you also had St. Louis ends up pulling out a decision there, even though he didn't get the win for that. Decent enough spot that it looked all right. 16 ground balls. That was nifty to see, but ended up losing a result there in Milwaukee. Ends up getting, 7 innings pitched, 1 hit heel out against St. Louis. What I'm getting at is he's had some very interesting results. 7 earned against Milwaukee 4 starts ago, 4 earned against Miami 3 starts beforehand, St. Louis 2 earned, then last time against Atlanta, his best start in quite some time, his first quality start in his last 4, 2 earned runs. Can you tell I've done some work on this spot? Mainly because Aaron Nola, the velocity looks back to me, and if he can induce ground balls against some of these bad teams and just get through some of these spots, Philadelphia is still playing for things. They are 5 games up here in terms of the wild card, but the wild card positioning has a little bit of movement in it. So I do think we're going to be tracking this Phillies team until they clinch. And I think they roll out the absolute A team here. So it's a little bit of a speculative play here. I probably want to actually bet this one before the Phillies lineup comes out, because there's usually a little bit of a middle that books put into these numbers. Now, let me explain. They don't know if teams like the Phillies, who have less to play for, I mean, Atlanta's way up in the division. You've got this team that's a wild card team. They're facing a nobody, and you could see a number like minus 220, minus 200. Probably against Mitch Keller here, I have projected at minus 196. So that's what I'm projecting the books come out with. But that's a middled number where I think they should be better than minus 200 with the A-team lineup. And I think they should be inside of minus 190 if they sit one of Harper, Schwarber, Castellanos, so on and so forth. So I hope this helps in terms of what I'm looking at and when I'm trying to bet some of these. But I think this is one that as soon as this line drops, it's not going to get any better than that original number. So I'm looking at betting anything inside of minus 185, or sorry, not minus 185. Minus 196 is the break-even number as far as where I think the books are going to put this out as a middle number. I will bet anything up to minus 205, but in order to reduce some of what I'm paying here, I want a good Aaron Nola outing. I'm looking at up to 6Ks. I'm not a big single-game parlay people. I think most of you know that here on this program, but been dabbling a little bit more, and I think that this is a nice correlated play. I almost said correlative. That's a made-up word, but this is not a made-up play. Aaron Nola up to 6Ks in addition to a Phillies money line. Depending on how that money line drops, I know a lot of you don't want to be laying 200 to win 100, so I'm giving you some options here. Only one option here, and it is pitching to me. The New York Yankees heading into Canada. Oh, eh? We're going to go up there and play baseball games that don't matter, eh? Oh, yeah. Grab your snowshoes. It's going to get cold here very shortly. I'm sorry. They say sorry. I don't know. How I Met Your Mother taught me that. Anybody? Sherbatsky? Bueller? All right, I'll break down the pitching here because I do like this play. Michael King has been awesome as a reliever for years and years for this Yankees team. He's now taken his talents to the starter's mound, and he's been awesome as well. 31.4% hard hit percentage. Had to cough. He's really good. 31.4% hard hit percentage, 280 xFOA, but 31.1% K rate. And now, yeah, you're not going to see the same amount of strikeout stuff, but we have seen him absolutely ball out, and I've said it multiple times. I love that the Yankees are giving him this opportunity, and if you can make one of your best relievers into a starter and not hurt him, see how you push him here when it's pretty low leverage. 2.66 ERA, 1.12 whip would look really good on the mound for 7 innings and 13 Ks like he had last time against Toronto. Now, the only concern, I know a lot of you are saying, oh, Eric, he just went 101 pitches, 13 strikeouts. He just faced this team last time. Sure did. I don't see him pitching fucking worse. He's that good. Michael King is an absolute freak. You go through some of his pitch mixes, sinker, four-seamer, change. I love when it's 3 pitches, clean, and all of them are plus. Makes my life easy. You're good at pitching. Now, Kevin Gausman, he has a splitter. That's the main thing we're looking at from him. He throws the four-seamer along with the split, has a slider that he mixes in from time to time against righties. But what I'm getting at is that these are 2 elite pitchers, and we're seeing King really come to fruition here. Now, Gausman, this is going to be a second time through for him as well, facing these Yankees, that same matchup that we just had. And they were fantastic. They gave up 1 earned between the two of them, 6 innings for Gausman, 7 for King. Bullpen anxiety, that's for sure. The Toronto Blue Jays put up 5 5 once Mr. Michael King left that game. So Kevin Gausman and Michael King, they're running it back. You just put a sprinkle on the under 7. It's that easy. There's going to be nothing else that you're going to do here. Maybe a K prop from either one of these if they stand out and if they end up projecting decently well. I do think they're going to be a little bit inflated here, though. So more than likely looking at the under 7, moving along with my life, we continue forward. Miami, money line. Braxton Garrett and Joey Lucchesi, both left-handed pitchers, and nobody cares about this game. Well, the Baltimore Orioles care about this game. The Orioles? The Orioles, kind of like me when I sing on this program. But Zach Eflin on the mound for the Tampa Bay Rays going up against Tanner Houck. And overall, this is a tough spot for a Tampa Bay team that now has some question marks. You have Randy Arozarena dinged up. You have Brandon Lau, who's going to be out for quite some time, more than likely, if this Tampa Bay team doesn't go anywhere. They ain't going nowhere because they're bad boys for life. Brandon Lau, not going to be there. Fractured right patella. That sounds painful to me. So you got that. Luke Raley, Jose Siri continuing to be on the IL. This team has kind of been decimated by injuries. It's no bueno. They have Jeffrey Springs. You guys remember him when he was mowing down everybody at the beginning of the year? Shane McClanahan, another lefty, just spitting it out there. Drew Rasmussen. I mean, Shane Baz is even on the IL. I'm just literally naming those are like all of their best pitchers. Zach Eflin. He's been really good, though, this season, too. So I won't besmirch him. They found a good one. They actually just transformed him into a good one, if anything, because he had the same stuff you're looking at there in Philly, but Tampa Bay knows how to curate a pitcher and make them available for him. And, well, 34.8% hard hit percentage, 26.6% K rate, everything pretty damn good across the board now. But Tanner Houck, I have tried to back him in some spots, not going to do it here. 392 expected slugging, 239 expected batting average. But for me, the key, talked about it earlier with J-Ram, I'm looking at Rafael Devers just on that cruise, just cruise himself in, swing for the fences every at bat until you get to Cabo next week. That's what he's looking for with his 55.5% hard hit percentage, 539 expected slugging, and against a good righty. It's not like Fenway plays up for lefty power. So anything better than plus 375, and I expect this number to land somewhere in the plus 425, plus 450 range. I'm betting Rafael Devers. They're not pinch hitting for him at any spot. It's Rafael frickin' Devers. So he's playing every day. As long as he's in the lineup, as long as you see him there doing his normal thing against any righty coming down to the end of the season, especially when they might be limited here in this spot, although the bullpen from Tampa, not something you want to mess with too much. I'm going to be looking at backing Devers here with the home run plop number 2. Enjoy it. Also enjoy this, friends. BetMGM, new BetMGM users, sign up down below. Bet $10, get yourself $200 instantly. Yes, I am reading what's directly on the screen, but I'm doing it because some of you are listening to this in podcast form. Some of you do not want to see my face, and I totally understand that, although I like to think I take good care of myself. But you know what? I'm going to take care of you. Don't worry, baby. You simply bet $10 over at BetMGM. You get yourself 4 $50 bonus bets immediately from BetMGM. There's none of this wait for it stuff. There's none of this silliness. Fire up your 4 $50 bets over at BetMGM. Great stuff from them. So sign up at the link below. 10, getting 200. It's really as simple as that. So take advantage of it, friends, only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Oh, God, I hate this picture of me. I'm not going to miss this. Alrighty, y'all, back to the picks. The Chicago Cubbies taking on the Atlanta Braves. And oh, boy, it's the Elder Wand. Nothing like going into Atlanta. We did it with Aaron Nola. I'm going to do it here. Love betting against an Atlanta team that's just an absolute juggernaut offensively. But you know what? It's about math. And math tells me Justin Steele is a starter a lot better than Bryce Elder. And that's the skinny of it. It's actually the thick of it. I don't understand the analogy, can you tell? But Justin Steele, 288 xWOBA, 359 expected slugging, 5% walk rate, 5.2% barrel percentage, throws nearly 2/3 of the time a 4-seam fastball that's just good. He throws that, he throws a slider. He throws that, he throws a slider. Throws a slider, he throws that. In some capacity, it kind of goes like that. But Bryce Elder, he throws a sinker, slider, change, 4-seamer, none of them good. They're just not very good to me. 17.7% K rate, does have a 6.2% barrel percentage, but it's a mismatch. Justin Steele, if he didn't have Blake Snell exist, this could be a Cy Young conversation. Have you seen Justin Steele's numbers on the season? And I did call this coming into the season. We backed him a myriad of times, but 3.27 ERA, 1.17 whip, has a decent enough lineup here with the Cubbies, backing him, playing some magical baseball from time to time. Gonna need it here, but getting plus 128 here, plus 128, friends. Oh yeah, we bet that. Click for a like. Again, no lock. This one I considered making a lock, and then I realized Ronald Acuna has 40 and 40, and they have fucking all-stars everywhere. So don't do that. Play a half unit, back Justin Steele, maybe look at a first five. I don't bet first fives often because they're generally really inflated towards the better starter, but not the worst place for it. Am I really going to break down Zach Davies and Jose Urena with less than a week of regular season baseball? No. Bad. Holy hell, horrific bad. What are we doing here, Hello Runs? 5 games to go. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell as we talk about the Oakland Athletics and the Minnesota Twins. Bailey Ober for sure going to be on the mound here for the Minnesota Twins. As far as Oakland goes, this is disturbing and it makes me feel gross and sick and disgusting and all of those things. But there's a couple of different starters that it could end up being here. I assume it's going to be Paul Blackburn. If it ends up being Paul Blackburn, he's a lot better than your typical Oakland starter. He's a lot better than a lot of starters in baseball, which is not something I throw around lightly because I know this team's terrible, but he has a superpower. It's reducing hard hit. 32.3% hard hit percentage, 86.8 exit velocity, so 86.8 miles per hour average exit velocity. League average generally sits around 89, 88 and a half, so pretty decent stuff that we're seeing from Paul Blackburn here. He does carry the 263 expected batting average, a 22.6% K rate, though. You know how insane this is? Amongst starters on this baseball team, that's actually first amongst qualifying pitchers. They do have Mason Miller, I guess, who kind of is on the outside looking in terms of qualifying pitchers. Lucas Erceg, who now has been turned into a little bit of a starter here, but Joe Boyle, that doesn't count. 24 batted ball events. I'm not throwing him in there, but Paul Blackburn, 32.3% hard hit percentage. Bailey Ober kind of does the same thing, 35.6% hard hit percentage, but Minnesota has really very little incentive to do anything. They clinched the AL Central. They're 9 games up. That doesn't even comprehend. My team's going to the playoffs. I'm excited about it. Oakland, plus 1.5. Can we get plus money on it? I'd like it. I'd really like it. It's all right. It's a guilt-free bet for me. Guilt-free. Like eating In-N-Out on the way home. I did that. It was delicious. You should get In-N-Out. It hits different, friends. Post road trip In-N-Out. That's better than Oakland plus 1.5. You can find me in St. Louis. No, we're actually in Milwaukee. Zach Thompson going up against Adrian Hauser. Like, again, how's you father? I don't want to talk about this spot. I guess I should. Over 8. Over 8. Yeah, I like it. Over 8. There you go. The Texas money line. Of course. Lean. Like, Angels suck. Again, we're not on September 26th going to spend your precious, dear, sweet time talking about this. Obviously, the Angels don't care about winning baseball games. Obviously, Reed Detmers is better than your average pitcher. And obviously, they're going to roll out some capacity here because everybody's within 3 games here for Texas. We'll see how this game ends up rolling out, yada, yada, yada. But more than likely, no play. Just next. Now, this is disturbing. I just get done with that whole rant about the Angels. Now I'm looking at San Diego and San Francisco, and I'm like, ooh, I found a bet. Ooh. It's like a real cave dweller there. Seth Lugo on the mound going up against Kyle Harrison, and one of these guys, decent enough season, Seth Lugo. It's been okay. Not good. 23.3% K rate. A lot of his power problems. 44.4% hard hit percentage. Excuse me. I had to choke like the Padres. 44.4% hard hit percentage. it's mitigated by his home ballpark, but now on the road in San Francisco, just going to throw it out there. Mitigates a little bit of that power too. Kyle Harrison on the other side. Give me your K rate from AAA, please. North of 30%, absolutely striking out everybody. Has had glimmers with this four-seamer change little setup that he has. And maybe I'm just a sucker for these guys that I kind of know what I'm going to get. And I say that knowing perfectly well that I've tried to back this dum-dum multiple times here, and he definitely should be mowing dudes down more than 5, 3, and 2 strikeouts we've seen the last 4. He had 11 against Cincinnati. I understand that's Cincinnati, but only 6 starts at the big league level here for the Southpaw. 31 strikeouts in 29 2/3 innings. It's not nothing. Obviously, it's inflated by that 11, but 5 strikeouts in 3 of his first 4 outings in the bigs. Then he faces Cleveland and the Dodgers. Those are teams that don't strike out very often. San Diego, not the best strikeout matchup on planet Earth, but like, I'm going to push the limits with this guy until the end of the season. I'm looking at 5 or 6, probably 6. 6 strikeouts. Kyle Harrison. I'm packaging it here with the money line on the San Francisco side. They're still the better baseball team. I don't know. They seem to play for their home fans, or some narrative that you can believe like that. I don't care. I just think Kyle Harrison has really good strikeout stuff, and I would like to be early to the party before next season. And to our lock that we had on Monday, that we're going to tone down a little bit here on Tuesday, but it's Christian Javier going up against George Kirby, and there's nothing that I have given you in the last couple of weeks that is more valuable than betting against George Kirby. It's been awesome. It's been good. And I've been doing it in terms of either strikeouts or starts. He had lost 4 consecutive starts before winning against Oakland, where I didn't touch that line. It was a disturbing line, but want to at least point out 4 of his last 5 starts. We bet him against him 4 straight times on the money line. We've cashed every single one of those tickets. The Mets on the road, Tampa Bay on the road, the Dodgers at home. Yeah, no, he was at home for the Dodgers game. I was going to say I have it different on the sheet. And then the last one, we have the White Sox, of course, friends. The White Sox, he was great, and they lost anyway. But he's given up at least 3 earned in 6 consecutive starts. Yeah, if it were anybody other than Christian Javier amongst these starters here for the Houston side, this would be a lock. But alas, earwax. That's a Harry Potter joke for those who care. Bert's every flavor jelly beans. Dumbledore? Anyone? Okay. Christian Javier, 328 XWO, but 452 expected slugging. Christian Javier, it's been a down year for him for sure, but up to a 23.1% K rate. We're starting to see the signs. And I opened up my eyes. I saw the signs. No one's going to drag you up to get into the light where you belong. Christian Javier, give us a win, please. Thank you. 11 strikeouts against Baltimore. That's what Daddy's talking about last time out. And Daddy would like to back that in a great pitcher's park that suppresses some of his power issues, plus money on Houston. Back-to-back days. Kind of a no-brainer. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays here on Tuesday's slate. Good to have a full day of baseball. No NFL. Obviously, NFL, we love it. It's kind of an interesting week 3 for me. After smashing anytime touchdowns, went blank on him outside of a Rashid Shaheed touchdown. What a dumb thing that is. But you know what? We're back on track. Nice to get the Brian Robinson lock through the people. Tyreek Hill covered in like a series and a half. It was beautiful. But it's more beautiful to just get, 4 $50 free bets over at BetMGM. So bet $10, get yourself $200 there in bonus bets. Good stuff from our friends at BetMGM. Get that on the way out, only for 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Thank you to producer Jacob. Good to be back here in the abode, in the studio. It looks lovely. It's charming. And look at that. I just put golf clubs and propped it and it looked pretty. I don't know. That's a pineapple head cover. I put that on my driver. It's cute. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Until next time, friends. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Tuesday.